Good afternoon, everyone. It's just afternoon in Houston time, Central Standard Time. I'm Matt Morey, the C4Leader, and this is another Leadership Lunch. Today's quote comes from a gentleman named John Zenger. He was a publicist and author in the 18th century, which means in the 1700s. And he was actually held for libel against a British governor because of what he was publishing. And he proved, or set the standard, that truth does not mean libel. So that is where he's coming from. And his quote rings true today as much as it did during the time of our founding fathers. And that quote was, "Great leaders are not defined by the absence of weaknesses, but rather by the presence of clear strengths." One more time. Great leaders are not defined by the absence of weaknesses, but rather by the presence of clear strengths. And I think that's a very important quote, especially today. The reason I'm saying this is because so often we expect people to be perfect. And to be perfectly honest, nobody's perfect. Everybody has weaknesses. So the real trick of the day, the real trick for a leader is to recognize where his or her weaknesses are and then build teams that complement and that take care of those weaknesses. Because if a leader builds a team that's just like him, then everybody's got the same weaknesses. Or her, excuse me. I don't want to leave out the ladies. And if a leader builds a team that's full of people that complement his weaknesses, then the whole board is taken care of. But the second part of that, real strengths, presence of clear strengths. A leader needs to have clear strengths. A leader that is a jack of all trades ends up being a master of none and loses respect because there's nothing for other people to take pride in or nothing for other people to point at and say, that's why he or she is our leader. If you can do that, if you can have clear strengths and you make sure that you're complementing your weaknesses, then you will be a much stronger leader for it and your team will appreciate you all the much more for it as well. Now, there's Strength Finder 2.0, in case you're wondering where to find it. I have a friend named Barbara. I may put her information at the bottom of this video. That is a Strength Finder coach. She's a good friend of mine. We've been working together on a couple of things, so I'm going to start introducing her around, and maybe a couple other people too. So, as always, I'm Matt Morey, the C4 Leader, and now here's the as always. And I guess I should make a quick note. I'm a little shiny because I hit the gym a little late today. And I hit the showers, got dressed, and came straight here. So I'm still a little, my metabolism is still a little high from being at the gym. So now to wrap this up, Matt Morey, the C4 Leader. As always, I'm committed that you will get more with Morey. Here's to you and your team exploding into success.